Drew McIntyre gets an offer to leave WWE after getting buried by Triple H. Jey Uso turns heel and quits WWE. Randy Orton's wife shares a hectic personal update. Triple H replaced by a huge name at a major event. Jade Cargill apologizes for squashing Tiffany Stratton at SNME. A major update on Cody Rhodes' injury after he collapsed at SNME. I have lost years of my life, says Seth Rollins. A released WWE star wins a world title. Roman Reigns punishes Jey Uso. The Miz must not claim Cena's final dance. Let's dive right in. Jey Uso turns heel and quits WWE. Raw hits the air tonight from Rio Rancho in New Mexico, packed with the aftermath of Saturday night's main event. The card locks in a World Tag Team Championship clash pitting the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and J.D. McDonough, against AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Fresh World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk steps up too, with more fights sealed in. Here, dive into 4 wild twists that could explode on this Raw. Number 1. Jey Uso snaps heel and bolts from WWE. Main event Jey came up short against CM Punk at Saturday night's main event in his World Heavyweight Championship hunt, and his face screamed pure rage after. He fired shots at haters on his Instagram story, dropping hints at his dark side. Tonight, frustration could boil over into a heel switch. He might lash out at Punk or LA Knight, then drop the mic and quit WWE. That gut punch exit would leave everyone stunned in the best way. Number 2. The Vision ropes in a beast to crush CM Punk. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed haven't let go of their beef with CM Punk, and they might hunt the new World Heavyweight Champion down tonight. Picture this. They team up with Brock Lesnar to ambush the Second City Saint. The Beast Incarnate has whispers swirling about linking with the Vision thanks to his tie to Paul Heyman. Tonight marks his first pop since WrestlePalooza, storming back to wreck Punk alongside Reed and Breaker. Number 3. Sky storms back to smash Asuka and Kairi Sane. Asuka and Kairi Sane lock horns with Lyra Valkyria and Bayley in tag team action on Raw tonight. The Kabuki Warriors laid waste to Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, and Lyra Valkyria last week on Raw right after their Women's Tag Team Championship scrap. Bayley dodged the hit, though. Tonight's ring war sets the stage. Post-match, a fired-up Sky could charge in to batter the Kabuki Warriors, settling scores for their hit on Rhea Ripley weeks back. The Nightmare sits out tonight, but eyes a return in a few weeks as the bad blood boils. Number 4. Dominic Mysterio botches Balor and JD's title shot. The Judgment Day has cracked for ages, and tonight might shatter them for good on Raw. Dominic Mysterio could tank Finn Balor and J.D. McDonough's Tag Team Championship rematch, pushing the Prince over the edge. He might unleash on Dirty Dom for the screw-up, sparking the group's total meltdown. McDonough looks primed to back his guide Balor in any split, piling on against the Intercontinental Champion. Mysterio could then spark a war with Finn Balor over the Intercontinental Gold straight into Survivor Series. Randy Orton's wife shares a hectic personal update. WWE star Randy Orton's wife, Kim, just poured her heart out on social media with a Raw family update. She dropped a bunch of sweet Halloween snaps of the Orton crew. Kim Orton fired up Instagram with pics of her loved ones in full spooky mode. In the caption, she admitted October hit her like a truck. Kim laid out the wild ride of the past month, pushing through an ear infection, a ripped back muscle, and laryngitis, all while showing up big for her kids' special moments. The Viper's wife sent up a plea for November to cut her some slack on the sickness front. October had been a crazy month for me. Mike turned 23, Rob turned 21, had the family dress up as Hocus Pocus for trunk or treat. I worked the book fair at Brooke's school, was in charge of her Halloween class party, Anthony got his permit, met some new family, Brooklyn had 3 different costumes, all while battling an ear infection, pulled muscle in my back and laryngitis. Please be gentle on me, November, she wrote. When Randy Orton stormed back to WWE TV after a long injury layoff at Survivor Series, War Games 2023, crowds figured he'd rocket straight to the main event. But the Viper's path has felt flat for a stretch now. The Apex Predator skipped big shows this year like Clash in Paris, WrestlePalooza, and Crown Jewel. He's barely lit up the weekly cards from the Stanford crew either. For months, crowds have pushed for Orton to flip bad and hunt Cody Rhodes' undisputed WWE Championship. Their shared past screams blockbuster drama. Eyes stay locked on whether the Triple H story squad lines up a war between the Apex Predator and the American Nightmare ahead. Triple H replaced by a huge name at a major event. Triple H skipped a massive WWE event lately. This follows him missing several major cards over the last few months. Fresh word just broke on the matter. Before Saturday night's main event, Fightful noted neither the Game nor Bruce Pritchard hung around backstage there. Yet both showed up behind the scenes for the October 31st episode of SmackDown the night prior. Now more details have trickled out post-event. According to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer newsletter's daily update, Triple H indeed stayed away from Saturday night's main event as folks figured, but Bruce Pritchard made the cut. More than that, he took charge of the entire production. The piece added that the CCO has dodged a bunch of shows of late, usually tied to some political snag. Paul Levesque wasn't at the show last night in Salt Lake City. Bruce Pritchard was running the show. Levesque has missed several shows of late, often related to political things. Back when the Game stepped up as WWE's creative boss, cheers rang out for his skills. Lately, though, the CCO has caught heat for his story picks. Cody Rhodes topping Drew McIntyre yet again left crowds sour. McIntyre's string of defeats, the setup for John Cena's final WWE chapter before hanging it up, the mess around New Day, and plenty other gripes have piled up. Time will show how the CCO pushes back and what lies ahead for him steering WWE. Jade Cargill apologizes for squashing Tiffany Stratton at SNME. Jade Cargill flattened Tiffany Stratton at Saturday night's main event, right after she tossed out a fake sorry. On the October 24th SmackDown, Tiffany Stratton beat Kiana James clean. Julia and Kiana jumped her afterward until Cargill rushed the ring to help. Then, in a flash, the ex-AEW powerhouse stabbed Stratton in the back and pounded her hard. The buff Barbie twisted her leg bad in the beatdown. Hurt or not, she still stepped up to defend her gold against Cargill at Saturday night's main event. The powerhouse needed only minutes to crush Stratton and snatch the WWE Women's Championship. Chelsea Green jumped on social media to back her pal Tiffany Stratton. The fresh champ fired back with a snarky sorry for the quick kill. "Oh, sorry I squashed your friend. You want some next?" Ever since hitting WWE, Jade Cargill got pushed as the next monster star. She started teamed with Bianca Belair. Once that split, she locked eyes on Solo Gold. For weeks, the ex-AEW force chased Stratton's WWE Women's title and came up empty every time. At Saturday night's main event, she finally grabbed it. Fresh off the win, Jade hit Instagram to slap down every doubter from her past. "You didn't believe in me. Good. Doubt looks great on you. Gold looks better on me," Cargill wrote. Eyes stay glued on who steps up first to test Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship. A ring vet just crowned Jade Cargill the next Goldberg after her monster win at Saturday night's main event. He even mapped out a clash with Rhea Ripley for next year. On X, Matt Morgan shouted for WWE to book Cargill on a Goldberg-style wrecking spree, the kind that tore through WCW undefeated. Morgan laid out Ripley hunting the belt all the way to next WrestleMania. "Let's go!" Huge congrats to my friend Jade Cargill for winning the Women's Championship tonight at SNME. This girl has put in so much work to get here that it's not even funny. Now, WWE needs to make her go on a Goldberg type of dominate run and have Rhea chase her for the title come Mania Imho. "So proud of you, sis," Morgan tweeted. Rhea Ripley holds court on Raw, so her path to Cargill runs through a Royal Rumble win or Elimination Chamber crown next year. No talk yet on a draft or winter swap window. A major update on Cody Rhodes' injury after he collapsed at SNME. Cody Rhodes folded to the mat at Saturday night's main event, and the arena went dead quiet. Fans watched the American Nightmare clutch his ankle after a botched Cody Cutter attempt off the top. The ref froze the action, leaned in to check, and the worry spread fast. Yet the champ powered through, pinned Drew McIntyre, and limped away with the undisputed WWE Championship still on his shoulder. Insiders now confirm the collapse was never real. He was about to leap, but the referee slid right into his landing zone, one source told me. Cody killed the spot, grabbed the ankle, and sold it like a pro. That ankle sell was 100% storyline. No twist, no tear, no trip to medical. No, it's not an injury for that one. He was going to jump, but the referee was in the way, so he stopped and sold his ankle being hurt. As far as an injury is concerned, while he may have picked up a knock separately, that's not confirmed. But yeah, that spot was not due to an injury. He is fine for that one, said sources. Cody walked out under his own power after the show, high-fived kids at ringside, and even signed a few belts. Any lingering limp? Just leftover selling for the hard cameras. The win marks another brutal night for Drew McIntyre. The Scottish Warrior has now lost every major title match since his 6-minute reign at WrestleMania, cashed in on by Damian Priest the second the bell rang. Cody, meanwhile, rolls on, ankle intact and ready for whatever war comes next. "I have lost years of my life," says Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is laid up at home, shoulder locked in a sling, after surgeons patched the break he took at Crown Jewel 2025. The Visionary was supposed to walk into Saturday night's main event with the World Heavyweight title strapped tight, ready to throw down with the best. Instead, the gold sits on CM Punk's waist because Rollins had to vacate it when the bone snapped. A few hours ago, Seth hopped on Instagram threads to react to the Chicago Bears' latest nail-biter win in the NFL, his lifelong team. "I've lost years of my life in 10 minutes, but I love football." He wasn't talking about the ring. He was talking about the Bears. Rollins does more than cheer. He breaks down film every week on NFL Network's Good Morning Football, trading takes with ex-players like it's a locker room huddle. Football is his second heartbeat, and tonight, it stole another chunk of his life. Before the injury, WWE had the runway lit. On Sportskeeda's The Wrestling Time Machine, veteran reporter Bill Apter spilled the original roadmap. "I think it's definitely a legit injury. I definitely do, because they had a lot of plans for Seth Rollins to move forward with that title and probably defend it against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, the Bronze. But that's not going to happen right now. That'll happen down the line," Apter said. That monster three-way title clash is now frozen in carbonite. Doctors handed down the standard sentence, 6 months minimum. Survivor Series 2025, Royal Rumble 2026, WrestleMania 42, every one of them sits behind a giant question mark. For now, Seth ices the shoulder, yells at referees on Sundays, and counts the days until the only bell he cares about rings, the one that says cleared to compete. A released WWE star wins a world title. A WWE cutter just turned world champ somewhere else. Shayna Baszler, the ex-NXT Women's Champion, got her walking papers in May 2025 after 8 hard years. She slipped back into NXT as a backstage coach, but last night in Florida, she stepped between the ropes again and crushed Lacey Lane to claim the Boca Raton Championship Wrestling Women's World Championship. 1 month after her non-compete ended, 2 matches deep on the indies, the Queen of Spades already wears gold. BRCW streams every punch on YouTube and packs its cards with familiar faces. Matt Riddle rides high as one half of the tag champs with Stallion Rogers. On the Ariel Helwani show, Baszler opened up about the regret that still stings from her WWE days. Everyone talks about like Sasha Banks and Bayley doing all 3 brands and carrying the COVID era, but Nia and me were on all 3 shows carrying that tag division. We were on every show, and I really wish, if there is like one huge regret, I really wish it was that would have been in front of fans, or we could have gone back to that and see how they would have reacted, Baszler said. She lifted the women's tag team title twice with Nia Jax and once with Ronda Rousey. Her final WWE bell rang in a gauntlet loss alongside Zoe Stark. Now free, Baszler storms the indies with a shiny new belt. Crowds want to know, how far will the Queen run with this crown? Roman Reigns punishes Jey Uso. Roman Reigns hasn't stepped foot in a WWE ring since Jey Uso's wild swing cost him a street fight against Bronson Reed at Crown Jewel Perth. The OTC vanished, but his face stares down from the Survivor Series War Games 2025 poster, proof he's coming back hungry. Ever since Cody Rhodes ripped the undisputed WWE Universal title away at WrestleMania 40, Roman has played the good guy, the changed tribal chief. That mask is about to crack. Imagine the lights drop inside the cage. Jey Uso bounces in, yeet signs flashing everywhere, thinking his cousin finally has his back. Then Roman's music hits. The arena roars. He slides in slow, eyes locked on Jey. One spear, one guillotine choke, one cold stare into the hard camera. I told you. Acknowledge me. The Yeet Master gets dragged out limp while the crowd sits stunned. The babyface Roman is dead. The heel tribal chief just murdered him on live TV. CM Punk wears the new world heavyweight gold, and the Vision smells blood. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed already circle. Paul Heyman could slide in a mystery 5th man to replace the broken Seth Rollins, stacking the odds 2-on-1. Punk needs bodies. Last year he bled for Roman inside War Games. Now the OTC repays the debt. Roman steps to Punk's side, Samoan Spike ready, and the cage door slams on the most dangerous team WWE has ever locked inside. Roman and Bronson Reed sit tied 1-1 in singles wars. Survivor Series hands them the rubber match. One final Australian Destroyer versus one final Superman punch. Roman plants Reed with a spear through the announce table, pins him clean in the center, then snatches the mic. Next stop, my title. The tribal chief is back on the throne path, and nobody is safe. The Miz must not claim Cena's final dance. WWE dropped a goosebump video narrated by John Cena himself. He promised one last enemy, picked by a massive cross-brand tournament called The Last Time Is Now. Brackets open on the November 10th Raw, pulling fighters from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and maybe even a few wildcards outside the company. 4 names, though, have zero business holding the trophy. Here's why each would wreck the perfect goodbye. Number 1, The Miz. Old news. Wrong timing. Cena and The Miz tore the house down over the WWE title in 2011. They closed WrestleMania 27. Fun? Sure. Fresh? Not even close. Both men have new scars and new stories. If Miz deserved one last swing, it should have happened months ago on the retirement lap. CM Punk, Randy Orton, and Brock Lesnar carry heavier ghosts. Giving Miz the golden ticket now feels like digging up a rerun nobody asked to rewatch. Number 2, Solo Sikoa. Already cashed the check. Solo Sikoa already owns a clean pin on the 17-time champ. Crown Jewel 2023, Street Fight rules, Sikoa left Cena flat. Story over. Handing Solo the tournament just to watch Cena eat another loss is lazy. The leader of the MFTS doesn't need a second helping of Cena's spotlight. Let a hungrier mouth taste that moment. Number 3, Sheamus. Great past, zero future slots. Sheamus shocked the world in 2009, stripping Cena of gold on his very first night as champ. The Celtic Warrior is still kicking doors down at 47. One more war with Cena would light the roof on fire. Problem, Cena only has 4 nights left. Sheamus doesn't need 8 weeks of brackets to earn 5 minutes with the franchise. Their history is already carved in stone. Save the tournament crown for a kid who still needs the rub. Number 4, Joe Hendry. Cool cameo, wrong crown. Cena winked at talent from outside these walls. TNA's Joe Hendry lit up the internet with his Randy Orton clash at WrestleMania. A pop-in cameo against Cena would pop huge, but Hendry doesn't need to win 16 matches to get it. Let him slide in on a guest invite, sing his song, eat the attitude adjustment, and bounce. Keep the actual trophy for a homegrown star like Gunther or Dominic Mysterio, who still has mountains to climb. Drew McIntyre gets an offer to leave WWE after getting buried by Triple H. Drew McIntyre stood in the ring lights, sweat stinging his eyes, watching Cody Rhodes raise the undisputed gold one more time. Saturday night's main event ended the only way it knows how lately, another L for the Scotsman. 5 swings at a world title since Damian Priest snatched his WrestleMania moment, 5 misses. The sword stayed sheathed. Hours later, a lifeline slid into his mentions. Inside sources, the same guy who just bought a chunk of Juggalo Championship Wrestling, fired off a public invite on X. The message dripped with bite. D. McIntyre would love to discuss you coming to at JCW Lunacy once your WWE contract expires. You have my word. You won't be booked like she, inside sources wrote. Juggalo Championship Wrestling, hatchets, Fago, and zero corporate handcuffs, opened its doors in 1999 under Insane Clown Posse. Now it has fresh money and a booker who swears the Claymore will swing every night. Drew knows the road out of WWE. He walked it once. Kicked to the curb in 2014, he rebuilt himself on concrete floors, then ruled TNA, then stared at a New Japan contract until William Regal dialed him up. 1 minute on the phone with Triple H and the prodigal son came home. Then in 2017, before I returned to WWE, I was ready to go to New Japan at that point. That's where my head was at. I spoke to the right people to start having serious serious conversations, and Regal told me, "You gotta talk to Hunter first, gotta talk to Paul first." And 1 minute into that conversation, I knew it was time to come back, McIntyre said. 13 world title shots in 4 years. Nobody gets that many swings. 0 wins. Nobody survives that many graves. The sword is sharp, the booking dull. Survivor Series looms. War Games cages rattle. Cody will be inside them. Drew might be on the outside looking in, or on a plane to Detroit with a hatchet in his bag. The Scotsman has a choice. Stay and swing at shadows, or walk out and carve new skulls. The offer is on the table. The clock on his WWE deal ticks loud.